Glad to have you back on the track with us. Let's enjoy the race together. Checkered flag. Neo-Texan and Super LaCroix are picking up the pace, improving their lap times by 0.3 seconds. The competition is heating up, folks. Smurf 20 and El Piost are having a tough time, dropping down 16 positions to P23. Wayne Train 94 and Jerry Berry have advanced to P3, passing One Serious Guy and Just Jazik. Caxant and Laserloxt have climbed to P7, overtaking Babardo and Japar. Gary Z and Skiltil facing challenges, dropping to 11th place. Caxant and Laserlow XT gain ground, now in 6th after passing Babardo and J Japar. Babardo and J Japar move up to 7th, overtaking Norgas 77 and Julian Ismas. Todd R. Gardner, R. Fail, Wayne Train 94, and Jerry Berry are in a heated battle for 2nd place. Todd R. Gardner and R. Fail are in Chevrolet Camaro Z2869, while Wayne Train 94 and Jerry Berry are driving an Alfa Romeo Giulia TZ2. Hugard 03 made a strong move up to 8th place, surpassing Lilu and OOA. Sneaku 515 and Gatu also climbed up to 11th place, overtaking John 073 and Ilst Patrick. Sneaku 515 and Gatu have made a strong move, climbing to 10th place by overtaking Norgas 77 and Julian Ismas in their Oldsmobile for 42. Meanwhile, Wacht and Berriox Walkeri are also on the rise, now in 13th after passing John 073 and Ilst Patrick. Norgas 77 and Julian Ismas have made a strong move up to P10, surpassing Sneaku 515 and Gatu in their Ford Falcon XA GT72. The battle for the 10th spot is heating up between these two pairs. Meanwhile, Wacht and Berriox Walkeri have climbed to P12 by overtaking Gary Z and Skiltil. John 073 and ILSB Patrick making a strong move up to P13, passing Gary Z and Skiltil. Impressive move by Wacht and Berriox Walkeri, now in 11th place after overtaking Norgas 77 and Julian Ismas. Meanwhile, John 073 and Ilst Patrick are fighting Gary Z and Skiltil for the 13th spot. It's a Chevrolet Camaro Z2869 versus an Alfa Romeo Giulia TZ2 showdown. Gary Z and Skiltil have made a strong move up to 12th place, leaving Norgas 77 and Julian Ismas behind. In an intense battle for 14th place, John B073 and ILSB Patrick in a Chevrolet Camaro Z2869 are closely matched against Kamado 3K and Suzanne Greenberg in a Ford Fairlane 66. Babardo, Japar, and Hugard 03 are fiercely fighting for the 7th position, each in unique rides. The Pontiac GTO 65, Alfa Romeo Giulia TZ2, and the drivers are neck and neck. Meanwhile, Kamado 3K and Suzanne Greenberg have made significant progress, now sitting comfortably in 14th place after overtaking John 073 and Ilst Patrick. Todd R. Gardner and R. Vale are fiercely competing against One Serious Guy and Just Jazik for the 3rd position. Todd R. Gardner and R. Vale are behind the wheel of a Chevrolet Camaro Z2869, while One Serious Guy and Just Jazik are driving a TVR Griffith 200. The battle for P3 is heating up. Tadar Gardner and Arifale are fiercely competing for P3, both in Chevrolet Camaro Z2869. Meanwhile, one serious guy and Just Jazzic are right on their tails in TVR Griffith 200. It's all to play for in this nail-biting battle. Nolgas 77 in the Ford Falcon XA GT72 is putting pressure on Julian Ismas, while Kamado 3K in the Ford Fairlane 66 is battling Suzanne Greenberg for the 13th position. It's a tight race with exciting maneuvers happening. Kamado 3K and Suzanne Greenberg have advanced to 13th place, surpassing Nolgas 77 and Julian Ismas in the standings. John 073 and ILSB Patrick are fiercely competing for the 15th position, with Pfaffermarker closely tailing behind. John 073 and ILSB Patrick are piloting a Chevrolet Camaro Z2869, while Pfaffermarker is navigating an Alfa Romeo Giulia TZ2. Amin San and Meyer have made a swift move, jumping to 17th place by overtaking Anabiosis and Chkamster. The battle is on for the 17th spot between Amin San and Meyer in a TVR Griffith 200 and Anabiosis and Chkamster in a Ford Mustang Boss 30270. Keep an eye on this tight competition. Wayne Train 94 and Jerry Berriai are now leading the pack after a strong overtaking move on Dakota Snake and Sir Iron Bot. Meanwhile, Pfaffermarker has made significant progress, climbing to 14th place with some impressive overtakes. There's a tight battle brewing between Pfaffermarker in an Alfa Romeo Giulia TZ2 and Nolgas 77 and Julian Ismas in a Ford Falcon XA GT72 for that 14th spot. Hugert 03 in the Alfa Romeo Giulia TZ2, Sneaku 515, and Gatu in the Oldsmobile for 42 are fiercely contesting the 9th position. Meanwhile, John 073 and Ilsp Patrick in the Chevrolet Camaro Z2869 are locked in a tight battle with Amin San and Meyer in the TVR Griffith 200 for the 16th spot. Pfaffermarker from Team NAFH Gum Kings makes a strong move to claim the 13th position, overtaking both Kamado 3K and Suzanne Greenberg. A competitive battle for the 13th spot ensues between Pfaffermarker in the Alfa Romeo Giulia TZ2 and Kamado 3K and Suzanne Greenberg in the Ford Fairlane 66. Exciting developments in the middle of the pack. Sneaku 515 and Gatu in their Oldsmobile for 42 are duking it out with Gary Z and Skiltill in the Alfa Romeo Giulia TZ2 for the 11th position. The battle for that spot is heating up as these cars navigate the track. John073 and Ilse Patrick have advanced to 16th place, successfully passing Norgas 77 and Julian Ismus. The Chevrolet Camaro Z2869 is in a tight race with the Ford Falcon XA GT72 for that position. The battle for the 14th position is heating up between Kamado 3K in a Ford Fairlane 66, Suzanne Greenberg in a TVR Griffith 200, Amin San in a TVR Griffith 200, and Meyer in a TVR Griffith 200. Amin San and Meyer have made impressive moves, now sitting in 14th place after overtaking Kamado 3K and Suzanne Greenberg. It's a tight battle for 17th place between Norgas 77 and Julian Ismus in the Ford Falcon XA GT72, and Anabiosis and Chcomster in the Ford Mustang Boss 30270. Norgas 77 and Julian Ismus have advanced to 17th place, surpassing Anabiosis and Chcomster in this exciting battle for the position. It's a Ford showdown as Norgas 77 and Julian Ismus pilot the Ford Falcon XA GT72 while Anabiosis and Chcomster handle the Ford Mustang Boss 30270. Alpiost said, "Hey Amy. Order some virtual popcorn to my virtual race car which probably have engine failure. Oh no, I hope your virtual car gets that sorted out. It's a tough race out there. Enjoy the virtual popcorn while you watch. Popcorn Racing Car Hash." John073 and ILSB Patrick are competing against Anabiosis and JK Hamster for the 16th spot. Neo-Texum and Super LaCroix have advanced to 23rd, surpassing Neighbor and Newcombotham. Neighbor and Newcombotham have now claimed the 24th place, overtaking Rady Zero, Active Vixen and Ferrari 77. Snecker and Chinoski are steadily closing in on Grenin Jeb and Bakioki 8, reducing the gap by 2.4 seconds. Alpiost said, "Hey Amy. Please send a virtual Williams FW46 to my garage please. Need to catch up. Har har, if only I had that kind of power. Keep racing, maybe one day you'll get lucky and find one in your garage." Snecker and Chinoski are making a strong move, catching up with Grenin Jeb and Bakioki 8, reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds. Snecker and Chinoski advancing to P26 by overtaking Grenin Jeb and Bakioki 8. One Serious Guy and Just Jazik are making significant strides, catching up to Wayne Train 94 and Jereberia by reducing the gap by 3.4 seconds. An exciting battle is unfolding between John073 and Ilse Patrick against Anabiosis and Chcomster for the 16th position. It's a clash of the Chevrolet Camaro Z2869 versus the Ford Mustang Boss 30270. Alpiost said, "Hey Amy. I didn't even get a chance to show right now. Don't worry, there will be plenty of chances to show off your skills in future races. Just keep an eye out and stay ready to join in on the action." One Serious Guy and Just Jazik have dropped significantly to 16th place. Babardo and Japar are making impressive moves up to 6th position, passing Lilu and OOA, who now hold 7th place after overtaking Hugard 03. Neo Texan and Super LaCroix have advanced to 22nd place, surpassing Neighbour and Newcombotham in the race. Wayne Train 94 and Jerry Berry have surged to 1st place, surpassing Dakota Snake and Sir Iron Bot. Grenin Jeb and Bakioki 8 have climbed to 26th place, overtaking Rady 0, Active Vixen and Ferrari 77. Hugard 03 has advanced to the 7th position, surpassing Lilu and OOA. Gary Z and Skilltill are making moves, now sitting in 10th place after overtaking Lilu and OOA. Aminsan and Meyer have made a significant move, advancing to 12th position by overtaking Lilu and OOA. Komodo 3K and Suzanne Greenberg have advanced to 13th place, passing John 073 and Ilst Patrick. John 073 and Ilst Patrick have climbed to 14th place, overtaking Lilu and OOA. Anabiosis in the Ford Mustang Boss 30270 is battling it out with Chcomster for the 14th spot. Nolgas 77 and Julian Ismus, both in the Ford Falcon XA GT72, are also in the mix for that position. It's a close competition as they navigate the track. Neo Texan and Super LaCroix are swiftly catching up to Aminsan and Meyer, cutting the distance by 43.6. Snecker and Janowski have made a move to P23, surpassing Neighbour and Newcombotham. Anabiosis in the Ford Mustang Boss 30270 is battling it out with Chcomster for the 14th position. On the other hand, Nolgas 77 and Julian Ismus in the Ford Falcon XA GT72 are also fiercely competing for the same spot on the track. It's a tight race for these drivers in the middle of the pack. Hugard 03 from Team NAFH Gun Kings advances to the 7th position, successfully passing Wacht and Berriox Walkeri. Anabiosis is putting the pressure on Chcomster for P14, both in Ford Mustang Boss 30270s. Nolgas 77 and Julian Ismus are also in the mix with their Ford Falcon XA GT72. It's a tight battle in the middle of the pack. Rady 0, Active Vixen and Ferrari 77 are making a strong move, closing in on Neighbour and Newcombotham by 42.0 units. A tight battle is unfolding as they continue to reduce the gap. John 073 and ILSB Patrick in the Chevrolet Camaro Z2869 are fighting it out with Anabiosis and JK Hamster in the Ford Mustang Boss 30270 for the 13th spot. Meanwhile, One Serious Guy and Just Jazik have climbed to 15th place by overtaking Nolgas 77 and Julian Ismus. Wacht and Berriox Walkeri have advanced to 7th place, passing Hugard 03. One Serious Guy and Just Jazik have made a move to 14th place, overtaking Anabiosis and Chcomster. An intense battle is ongoing between one serious guy and Just Jazik in a TVR Griffith 200 and Anabiosis and Chcomster in a Ford Mustang Boss 30270 for the 14th position. John 073 and ILSB Patrick are fighting with one serious guy and Just Jazik for the 13th spot. Nolgas 77 and Julian Ismas have advanced to 15th place, passing Anabiosis and JK Hamster. Now, they are locked in a battle for that position. One serious guy and Just Jazik have advanced to 12th place, surpassing Komodo 3K and Suzanne Greenberg. Rady Zero, Active Vixen and T-Ferrari 77 have climbed to 26th place, overtaking Grenin Jeb and Bakioki 8. Neo Texan in the Morgan Plus for 62 is closely tailed by Super LaCroix as they battle for P22. Meanwhile, Snecker in the BMW 3.0 CSL is neck and neck with Janoski in another BMW 3.0 CSL in this intense mid-pack skirmish. Babardo and Japar have made a swift move up to 5th place, surpassing Caxant and Laserloxt. The Pontiac GTO 65 is taking on the Ford Mustang Boss 30270 in an exciting battle for that 5th spot. Caxant and Laserloxt are in a tight tussle for 6th place, both behind the wheel of powerful classic cars. Caxant is in a Ford Mustang Boss 30270, while Laserloxt is driving an Alfa Romeo Giulia TZ2. It's a showdown between American muscle and Italian finesse. Hugert03 has made a significant move up to 6th place, successfully overtaking both Caxant and Laserloxt in the process. Neotaxum and Super LaCroix are now in 22nd place after overtaking Snecker and Janoski in their Morgan Plus for 62. The battle for 22nd is heating up between these two pairs, with the BMW 3.0 CSL drivers looking to counterattack. Wacht and Beriox Walkeri have advanced to 7th place, successfully overtaking Caxant and Laserloxt in an impressive move. Alpiost said, "Hey Amy. Send my driver some virtual foods to his virtual garage, please easy. I'll make sure your AI driver receives a virtual feast fit for a racing champion in the virtual garage. Enjoy the race." Neighbor and Mukambakum are making a strong push, rapidly catching up to Snecker and Janoski, reducing the gap by 41.5 seconds. Anabiosis and Chcomster have made a strong move up to 16th place, passing Mogas 77 and Julian Ismas in a tight battle. Anabiosis and Chcomster are driving a Ford Mustang Boss 30270, while Mogas 77 and Julian Ismas are in a Ford Falcon XA GT72. It's shaping up to be an interesting duel for that 16th position. One Serious Guy and Just Jazik are making a charge towards Pfeffermarker, reducing the gap by 2.0 seconds. Wacht and Beriox Walkeri have made a strong move up to 6th place, overtaking Hugard 03. The two are now engaged in a fierce battle for that position. Hugard 03 making a strong move up to 6th place, passing Wacht and Beriox Walkeri. They are now locked in a tight battle for that position. Over in 13th place, Komodo 3K, Suzanne Greenberg, Jump 073, and Ilst Patrick are mixing it up in a thrilling battle. It's a Ford Fairlane 66 against a Chevrolet Camaro Z2869 showdown. Nolgas 77 and Julian Ismas in their Ford Falcon XA GT72 are putting up a tough fight against Anabiosis and Chcomster in the Ford Mustang Boss 30270 as they battle it out for the 16th position. It's a close matchup between these cars with different strengths and characteristics. Wacht and Beriox Walkeri have made an impressive move up to 6th place, overtaking Hugard 03 in the process. Wacht, Beriox Walkeri, and Hugard 03 are currently locked in a tight battle for the 6th position. Hugard 03 now in 6th place after overtaking Wacht and Beriox Walkeri. It's a tight battle for 6th position between Hugard 03, Wacht, and Beriox Walkeri. Hugard 03, Wacht, and Beriox Walkeri are currently engaged in a tight battle for the 6th position on the track. The competition is heating up as they strive for that coveted spot in the race. Hugard 03 has made a great move, advancing to P6 by overtaking Wacht and Beriox Walkeri. There's an intense battle happening between Hugard 03, Wacht, and Beriox Walkeri for the 6th position. Wacht and Beriox Walkeri are on the move, surpassing Hugard 03 to claim the 6th position. Anabiosis and Chcomster have surged to 14th place, making a slick overtake on Jump 073 and Ilst Patrick. It's a tight showdown between Anabiosis and Chcomster in the Ford Mustang Boss 30270 and Jump 073 and Ilst Patrick in the Chevrolet Camaro Z2869 for that coveted 14th spot. One Serious Guy and Just Jazik are struggling, dropping to 20th place. Wacht, Beriox Walkeri, and Hugard 03 are fighting for 6th place. Komodo 3K and Suzanne Greenberg have advanced to 12th place, passing Anabiosis and Chcomster. One Serious Guy and Just Jazik are making significant progress, catching up to Amin San and Meyer by reducing the gap by 24.9. Jump 073 and Ilst Patrick have advanced to 13th place, surpassing Anabiosis and Chcomster. The battle intensifies as One Serious Guy and Just Jazik continue to close in on Amin San and Meyer. Neo-Texan and Super LaCroix are making significant progress, cutting the lead of One Serious Guy and Just Jazik by 35.7 units. Meanwhile, John 073 and Ilst Patrick have surged to P12, successfully overtaking Komodo 3K and Suzanne Greenberg. The battle intensifies between John 073 and Ilst Patrick in a Chevrolet Camaro Z2869 and Komodo 3K and Suzanne Greenberg in a Ford Fairlane 66 for the 12th position. Neo-Texan and Super LaCroix are catching up to One Serious Guy and Just Jazik, reducing the gap by 4.0 seconds. John 073 and ILSB Patrick are making gains on Pfaffenmarker, reducing the distance by 2.2 seconds. Gary Z and Skilltill are making a move, closing in on Sneaky 515 and the 2 by 2.0 seconds. Snecker and Chinosky have advanced to 23rd place, surpassing Neighbor and Mukenbakum in the process. Amin San and Meyer have advanced to 19th place, successfully overtaking Lilu and OOA. Just Jazik and One Serious Guy now hold the 20th position after passing Lilu and OOA. One Serious Guy and Just Jazik are making a move on Amin San and Meyer, reducing the gap by 2.0 seconds. Neo-Texan and Super LaCroix are making significant progress, reducing the gap to Lilu and OOA by 39.6 seconds. The pressure is on as they continue to push forward. Anabiosis and Comster are neck and neck with Nolgas 77 and Julian Ismas for the 14th position. It's tight racing between a Ford Mustang Boss 30270 and a Ford Falcon XA GT72. Neo-Texan and Super LaCroix are steadily catching up to Lilu and OOA, closing in by 2.3 seconds. One Serious Guy and Just Jazik have advanced to 19th place, surpassing Amin San and Meyer. The four drivers are engaged in a tight competition for the 19th position in the race. Nolgas 77 and Julian Ismas have advanced to the 14th position, successfully passing Anabiosis and JK Hamster in a swift maneuver. Neighbor and Newcombotham are gaining on Snacker and Chinosky, closing the gap by 35.3 seconds. Anabiosis and JK Hamster have advanced to P14, overtaking Nolgas 77 and Julian Ismas. Neotexum and Super LaCroix are making significant progress, reducing the gap to Amin San and Meyer by 39.1 units. Rady Zero, Active Vixen and Ferrari 77 are also on the move, closing in on Neighbor and Newcombotham by 42.9 units. The competition is heating up as Neotexum and Super LaCroix continue to close in on Amin San and Meyer, shrinking the gap by 39.1 units. Influencing the AI pit strategy would add a whole new level of strategy. Maybe something to suggest for future races. Neotexum and Super LaCroix are gaining on Amin San and Meyer, reducing the gap by 2.5 seconds.
This is going to dive straight. There you go. Oh, that was naughty. He did that on purpose. What an idiot. What an idiot. Witness there. That was just wrong. That was just...
Tadar Gardner and Ira Vale are now in third place, surpassing Babardo and Japar in a swift move. Sneaku 515 and Gatu are pushing the pressure on Caxant and Laserlokst, narrowing the distance by 5.4 seconds. Wacht and Beriox Walkeri have made a strong move to claim the 5th position from Hubert 03. The chase continues as Sneaku 515 and Gatu persist in reducing the gap to Caxant and Laserlokst by 5.4 seconds. Fafamarker is making strides, closing in on Sneaku 515 and Gatu, reducing the gap by 2.5 units. Fafamarker is making some moves, climbing up to the 10th position by overtaking Sneaku 515 and Gatu. Komodo 3K and Suzanne Greenberg are swiftly catching up to Sneaku 515 and Gatu, reducing the gap by 37.9 seconds. Komodo 3K and Suzanne Greenberg are rapidly catching up to Sneaku 515 and Gatu, closing the gap by 8.3 seconds. Lilu and OOA have made an impressive move, climbing up to 19th place by successfully overtaking Amin San and Meyer in this intense race. One serious guy and Just Jazik are steadily catching up to Norgas 77 and Julian Ismus, reducing the gap by 2.3 seconds. John B073 and ILSB Patrick are steadily gaining on Pfaffermarker, reducing the gap by 2.6 seconds. John B073 and ILSB Patrick from Team NAFH Gum Kings have made a slick move into the 10th position, leaving Pfaffermarker behind. Sneaku 515 and Gatu making a strong move to grab the 11th position from Komodo 3K and Suzanne Greenberg. Komodo 3K and Suzanne Greenberg swiftly take over P12 from Norgas 77 and Julian Ismus. Norgas 77 and Julian Ismus managed to secure P13, overtaking Pfaffermarker in the process. The AI drivers always keep us entertained with their pit strategies, never a dull moment in these races. Lilu and OOA making a strong move up to P16, successfully overtaking one serious guy and Just Jazik in the process. Anabiosis and Jcomster are making a strong push, catching up to one serious guy and Just Jazik by reducing the gap by 599.0. Lilu and OOA are also on the move, closing in on Pfaffermarker by 2.4. The competition is heating up as the race progresses. Aminsan and Meyer are catching up to Anabiosis and Jcomster, reducing the gap by 5.0 seconds. Norgas 77 and Julian Ismus are steadily gaining on Komodo 3K and Suzanne Greenberg, reducing the distance between them by 2.3 seconds. Norgas 77 and Julian Ismus have climbed to 12th place, passing Komodo 3K and Suzanne Greenberg. The group is now tightly competing for that position, with Norgas 77 and Julian Ismus in a Ford Falcon XA GT72 facing off against Komodo 3K and Suzanne Greenberg in a Ford Fairlane 66. Wacht and Barriox Walkeri are making moves, catching up to Babardo and Japar, closing the gap by 4.7 seconds. Pfaffermarker advances to 14th place, passing Lilu and OOA. In turn, Lilu and OOA climb to 15th place, overtaking Komodo 3K and Suzanne Greenberg. One serious guy and Just Jazik are charging ahead, catching up to Komodo 3K and Suzanne Greenberg with a 45.2 gap reduction. Hubert03 has maneuvered into 5th place, surpassing Caxant and Lazilo XD. Caxant and Lazilo XD have climbed to 6th place, overtaking Gary Z and Skilltill. John 073 and ILSB Patrick are making a strong push, closing the gap by 44.0 to catch up with Babardo and Jay Japar. The race is heating up as these drivers battle for position. John 073 and Ilst Patrick are making moves, catching up to Babardo and Japar by reducing the gap by 2.3 seconds. Gary Z and Skiltil have made a spectacular move, advancing to 6th place by overtaking Caxent and Lazilo XD. Neighbor and Newcombotham are on the move, steadily gaining on Snecker and Chinoski, reducing the gap by 3.9 seconds. Babardo and Japar are now up to 8th place, successfully overtaking Caxent and Laserloxt. Neighbor and Newcombotham have advanced to 24th place, passing Snecker and Chinoski in the process. John 073 and ILSB Patrick have made a swift move up to 9th place, successfully overtaking Caxent and Lazilo XD in the process. Sneaku 515 and Gatu are making significant gains on Caxent and Laserloxt, reducing the gap by 9.1 seconds. Rady Zero, Active Vixen and Ferrari 77 are also closing in on Snecker and Chinoski by 41.1 seconds. The competition is heating up as Sneaku 515 and Gatu continue to reel in Caxent and Laserloxt, now by 9.1 seconds. One Serious Guy and Just Jazik have advanced to the 16th position, surpassing Kamado 3K and Suzanne Greenberg. It's a tight battle for 16th place between One Serious Guy and Just Jazik in a TVR Griffith 200 and Kamado 3K and Suzanne Greenberg in a Ford Fairlane 66. One Serious Guy and Just Jazik have made a great move, climbing up to 16th place by overtaking Kamado 3K and Suzanne Greenberg. The battle for 16th place is heating up between the TVR Griffith 200 of One Serious Guy and Just Jazik and the Ford Fairlane 66 of Kamado 3K and Suzanne Greenberg. Wacht and Beriox Walkeri are making a strong comeback, closing in on Dakota Snake and Surayan Bot by 16.7 units. Wayne Train 94 and Jared Berriai have surged to first place, passing Todd R. Gardner and R. Rafael. Todd R. Gardner and R. Rafael now hold second place after overtaking Dakota Snake and Surayan Bot. One Serious Guy and Just Jazik are on the move, catching up to Norgas 77 and Julian Ismas by reducing the gap by 40.5 units. Additionally, Kamado 3K and Suzanne Greenberg have made a significant move, climbing to P16 by passing Anabiosis and Chkamster. Snecker and Chinoski have advanced to 23rd place, successfully passing Neighbor and Newcombotham. The BMW 3.0 CSL driven by Snecker and Chinoski is engaged in a tight duel with Neighbor and Newcombotham's Chevrolet Corvair Monza for the 23rd position. Neotaxum and Super LaCroix are making significant gains on Lilu and OOA, reducing the gap by 41.6. One Serious Guy and Just Jazik have advanced to 14th place, surpassing Norgas 77 and Julian Ismas in their intense competition. The race for 14th place between One Serious Guy and Just Jazik in a TVR Griffith 200 Norgas 77 and Julian Ismas driving a Ford Falcon XA GT 72 is heating up. Meanwhile, Anabiosis and Jcomster have climbed to 16th place after overtaking Kamado 3K and Suzanne Greenberg. Anabiosis in the Ford Mustang Boss 30270 is fiercely contesting with Jcomster for P16, while Kamado 3K and Suzanne Greenberg in the Ford Fairlane 66 are also in the mix for this battle. Dakota Snake and Sir Ironbot are gaining on Todd or Gardner and Irevale, reducing the gap by 2.0 seconds. Rady Zero, Active Vixen and Ferrari 77 are making impressive moves, catching up to Neighbour and Mukumbakum by reducing the gap by 14.0 seconds. Similarly, One Serious Guy and Just Jazik are also gaining ground on Pfaffermarker with a 2.4-second reduction in the gap. The competition is heating up as the race progresses. Rady Zero, Active Vixen and Ferrari 77 have cut the distance to Neighbour and Mukumbakum by 4.4 seconds. Lilu and OOA have made an impressive move, climbing up to the 20th position by overtaking Amin San and Meyer. Amin San and Meyer are making significant gains, reducing the gap to Lilu and OOA by 12.2. Neotaxum and Super LaCroix are making their move, closing in on Amin San and Meyer, reducing the gap by 2.4 seconds. Neotaxum and Super LaCroix are making a strong move, reducing the gap to Amin San and Meyer by 40.1 seconds. The race at the front is getting even more intense as they continue to close in on the leaders. Norgas 77 and Julian Ismas have made a swift move, advancing to 14th place by overtaking One Serious Guy and Just Jazik. Anabiosis and Jcomster have advanced to 14th place, successfully passing Kamado 3K and Suzanne Greenberg in the process. Snecker and Janoski are closing in on Neotexum and Super LaCroix, reducing the gap by 2.0 seconds. Nolgas 77 and Julian Ismas driving the Ford Falcon XA GT72 are neck and neck with Anabiosis and Chcomster in the Ford Mustang Boss 30270, all vying for the 13th position. It's a thrilling battle down the track between these closely matched cars. Anabiosis and Chcomster have made a great move, advancing to 13th place by overtaking Nolgas 77 and Julian Ismas. Nolgas 77 and Julian Ismas have made a bold move, advancing to 13th place after overtaking Anabiosis and Chcomster in the race. Snecker and Chinaski are on the move, rapidly gaining on Neotexum and Super LaCroix, reducing the gap by 34.9. Caxant and Laserloxt have surged to P9, surpassing John 073 and ILSB Patrick. The battle intensifies as Snecker and Chinaski continue to close in on Neotexum and Super LaCroix with a 34.9 reduction in the gap. Just Jazik said, "Hey Amy, how to influence our AI driver's pit strategy?" Hey there. Unfortunately, pit strategy is decided by the AI for now. But who knows? Maybe in the future, we can yell pit commands at the screen and hope for the best, just like real life. Neighbor and Newcomb have made an impressive move, narrowing the gap to Snecker and Chinaski by 11.1 seconds. The competition is definitely heating up for those positions. Pfeffermarker is making a strong push, closing in on John 073 and ILSP Patrick by reducing the gap by 5.4 seconds. The competition is heating up as they battle for position. Chcomster said, "Hey Amy, who has the fastest lap at the moment?" As of now, the fastest lap time is 1 minute and 41.847 seconds, held by Dakota Snake and Sir Ironbot in their Ford Falcon XA GT72. Impressive speed out there on the track. Dakota Snake and Sir Ironbot are gaining ground on Todd R. Gardner and R. Raphael, reducing the gap by 2.0 seconds. Dakota Snake and Sir Ironbot are making gains on Todd R. Gardner and R. Raphael, shrinking the distance by 2.2 seconds. Dakota Snake and Sir Ironbot have surged to second place, passing Todd R. Gardner and R. Raphael. A heated contest for second is unfolding between Dakota Snake and Sir Ironbot in a Ford Falcon XA GT72 and Todd R. Gardner and R. Raphael in a Chevrolet Camaro Z2869. Hugert03 is making a move on Wacht and Berriok's Walkeri, cutting the distance by 2.0 units. Nolgas 77 and Julian Ismas are currently battling it out with Anabiosis and Chcomster for the 13th spot. Nolgas 77 and Julian Ismas are piloting a Ford Falcon XA GT72, while Anabiosis and Chcomster are in control of a Ford Mustang Boss 30270. Anabiosis and Chcomster have advanced to 13th place, surpassing Nolgas 77 and Julian Ismas. It's a close competition for the 13th position between Anabiosis and Chcomster in a Ford Mustang Boss 30270 and Nolgas 77 and Julian Ismas in a Ford Falcon XA GT72. Kamado 3K and Suzanne Greenberg successfully claimed the 14th position, leaving Nolgas 77 and Julian Ismas behind. The battle for the 14th spot is heating up between these four drivers. Nolgas 77 and Julian Ismas have made a swift move to claim the 14th position by overtaking Kamado 3K and Suzanne Greenberg. It's now a tight battle between them for that spot. Nolgas 77 and Julian Ismas are in a Ford Falcon XA GT72, while Kamado 3K and Suzanne Greenberg are holding their ground in a Ford Fairlane 66. Sneaku 515 and Gatu are making moves, narrowing the gap with Caxant and Laserloxt by 2.5 seconds. Hugert03 has advanced to 4th place, surpassing Wacht and Berriok's Walkeri. Pfeffermarker, Anabiosis, and Jake Hamster are fiercely contesting the 12th position. Pfeffermarker in the Alfa Romeo Giulia TZ2 is up against Anabiosis and Jake Hamster in the Ford Mustang Boss 30270. A thrilling battle unfolding in the middle of the pack. Babardo and Japar are making significant gains on Wacht and Berriok's Walkeri, decreasing the distance by 3.8 units. Aminsan and Meyer have advanced to 20th place, successfully passing Lilu and OOA. Lilu and OOA are making a charge, reducing the gap to Aminsan and Meyer by 4.3 seconds. Dakota Snake and Surayanbot have made a bold move to claim the top spot, surpassing Wayne Train 94 and Jerry Barrier in this exciting race. John 073 and ILSB Patrick are closing in on Sneaku 515 and Gatu, reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds. Hugert03 has jumped to P3, passing Wayne Train 94 and Jerry Barrier. Sneaku 515 and Gatu are now at P9, surpassing Caxant and Laserloxt. Gary Z and Skilltill are on fire, making a bold move up to 4th place by passing Wayne Train 94 and Jerry Barrier. Wacht and Beriox Walkeri are making a move, now in 6th place after overtaking Wayne Train 94 and Geriberii. Neotaxum and Super LaCroix are making a strong move, reducing the gap to Lilu and OOA by 6.0 seconds. Great racing action unfolding as they close in on the competition. Sneaku 515 and Gatu make a move to claim the 8th position, passing Caxant and Laserloxt. On the flip side, Caxant and Laserloxt make a swift climb to 9th place, bypassing Wayne Train 94 and Geriberii. Hubert 03 makes a swift move to claim 2nd place, surpassing Todd R. Gardner and Ira Fail. On the other hand, John 073 and ILSB Patrick are climbing up to the 10th position, overtaking Wayne Train 94 and Geriberii. Gary Z and Skiltil are making moves, advancing to 3rd place after overtaking Todd R. Gardner and Ira Fail. Pfeffermarker has advanced to 11th place by passing both Anabiosis and Jkamster. Conversely, Anabiosis and Jkamster have climbed to 12th place, surpassing Wayne Train 94 and Geriberii. Nolgas 77 and Julianismus make a strong move to 13th place, passing Komodo 3K and Suzanne Greenberg. In turn, Komodo 3K and Suzanne Greenberg advance to 14th place, overtaking Wayne Train 94 and Geriberii. Wayne Train 94 and Geriberii are making a strong push, overtaking 5 cars to secure the 10th position. They continue their climb, now surpassing John 073 and Ilst Patrick. Meanwhile, Amin San and Meyer also advanced to 19th place, overtaking One Serious Guy and Just Jazik. Lilu and OOA are making impressive progress, significantly reducing the distance to One Serious Guy and Just Jazik by 42.9 units. Wayne Train 94 and Geriberii are struggling, dropping back 10 places to P21. Pfeffermarker has made a move up to P11, passing Anabiosis and Jkamster. Meanwhile, Anabiosis and Jkamster have advanced to P12, overtaking Nolgas 77 and Julianismus. Rady Zero, Activixen and Ferrari 77 are making a significant move, reducing the gap to Neighbor and Newcombotham by 33.9 seconds. Rady Zero, Activixen and Ferrari 77 have smoothly advanced to the 24th position, successfully passing Neighbor and Newcombotham in the process. Neotaxum and Super LaCroix are rapidly catching up to Wayne Train 94 and Geriberii, reducing the gap by 538.8. The pressure is on as they close in. One serious guy and Just Jazik are gaining on Amin San and Meyer, reducing the gap by 2.6 seconds. Meanwhile, Snecker and Chinovsky are catching up to Neo Texan and Super LaCroix, decreasing the gap by 2.2 seconds. One serious guy and Just Jazik have made a bold move, advancing to 18th place by overtaking both Amin San and Meyer in a strategic maneuver. Lilu and OOA have made a significant move, climbing up to 19th position by overtaking Amin San and Meyer. Wayne Train 94 and Jeriberia have shown their skill by overtaking Amin San and Meyer, moving up to 20th place. Todd R. Gardner and Ari Rafael are making moves, now in 3rd place after overtaking Gary Z and Skiltil. Amin San and Meyer are making a strong push, closing in on Wayne Train 94 and Jeriberia by 6.6 seconds. Babardo and Japar have now advanced to 6th place after overtaking Gary Z and Skiltil. Sneaku 515 and Gatu are making gains on Gary Z and Skiltil, reducing the distance by 2.4 units. An exciting skirmish is unfolding between Rady Zero Activixen, Ferrari 77, Neighbor, and Newcombotham as they jostle for position 24. The Porsche 91268 and Chevrolet Corvair Monza are really putting on a show. Sneaku 515 and Gatu are rapidly catching up to Gary Z and Skiltil, reducing the gap by 39.8 units. Neotexum and Super LaCroix are also making significant progress, closing in on Amin San and Meyer by 63.9 units. The battle for positions is heating up as the race progresses. Wacht and Variox Walkeri are steadily catching up to Todd R. Gardner and Ari Rafael, decreasing the distance by 2.2 units. Lilu and OOA are making a move, narrowing the gap to one serious guy and Just Jazik by 2.2 seconds. John 073 and ILSB Patrick are on the move, now up to 9th place after overtaking Sneaku 515 and Gatu. Keep an eye on their progress. Sneaku 515 and Gatu are putting the pressure on John 073 and ILSB Patrick, reducing the gap by 4.1 seconds. Fafamarker is making a move, narrowing the distance to Sneaku 515 and Gatu by 2.5 units. Fafamarker is making a significant move, reducing the gap by 40.5 seconds as they catch up to Sneaku 515 and Gatu. The competition is definitely heating up. Norgas 77 and Julian Ismas have advanced to 12th place, passing Anabiosis and Chkamster. They are now in a tight battle for that spot. Interestingly, Norgas 77 and Julian Ismas are in a Ford Falcon XA GT72, while Anabiosis and Chkamster are in a Ford Mustang Boss 30270. Snecker and Chinaski are catching up to Neotexum and Super LaCroix, decreasing the distance by 2.2 seconds. One Serious Guy and Just Jazik are making moves, advancing to 17th place by overtaking Lilu and OOA. Todar Gardner and Irevale are making a move on Hugard 03, narrowing the gap by 3.5 seconds. Todar Gardner and Irevale have smoothly maneuvered up to 2nd place, successfully passing Hugard 03 in a smart move. Babardo and Japar are now in 4th place, passing Hugard 03 from Team NAFH Gum Kings. Meanwhile, Norgas 77 and Julian Ismas have advanced to 12th place, surpassing Anabiosis and Chkamster. Anabiosis and Chkamster have made a good move, advancing to 12th place by overtaking Norgas 77 and Julian Ismas. Gary Z and Skilltill are making a significant move, reducing the gap to Hugard 03 from NAFH Gum Kings by 6.1 seconds. The chase is on. Wayne Train 94 and Jerebarii are making their way up the ranks, now at 18th place after overtaking Lilu and OOA. Fafamarker, Anabiosis, and JK Hamster are fiercely competing for the 11th spot. Amin San and Meyer have made significant progress, climbing up to 20th place after overtaking Lilu and OOA. Snecker and Chinaski are putting pressure on Neotexum and Super LaCroix, reducing the gap by 2.4 seconds. Lilu and OOA is making a significant move, reducing the gap to Amin San and Meyer by 24.0. Neotexum and Super LaCroix are making impressive moves, closing in on Lilu and OOA with a gap reduction of 9.6 seconds. Neotexum and Super LaCroix are making a strong push, closing in on Lilu and OOA by 52.8 units. Wayne Train 94 and Jerebarii have advanced to P17 after passing One Serious Guy and Just Jazik. The battle for positions continues to heat up on the track. Neotexum and Super LaCroix are making gains on Lilu and OOA, reducing the distance by 3.3 seconds. Amin San and Meyer are making a strong move, decreasing the distance to one serious guy and just Jazik by a significant 52.6 units. Aminsan and Meyer are making significant progress, closing the gap on one serious guy and just Jazik by 7.0 seconds. Meanwhile, Pfaffermarker and Nolgas 77, along with Julian Ismas, are fiercely contending for the 12th position. The battle intensifies as they navigate the track in their respective cars. Snecker and Janowski are steadily catching up to Neotexum and Super LaCroix, reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds. Snecker and Janowski are making a move, catching up to Neotexum and Super LaCroix, reducing the gap by 2.0 seconds. Snecker and Janowski are making moves, catching up to Neotexum and Super LaCroix by reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds. Hugert 03 successfully snatches P4 from Babardo and Japar in the Alfa Romeo Giulia TZ2. A fierce three-way battle is underway for that coveted position. The Alfa Romeo Giulia TZ2, Pontiac GTO 65, and I'm excited to see who comes out on top. Hugert 03 in the Alfa Romeo Giulia TZ2, Babardo, and Japar are fiercely fighting for the 4th spot. The Alfa Romeo is holding its ground against the Pontiac GTO 65 drivers. Let's see who will outmaneuver the others in this exciting battle. John 073 and ILSB Patrick are making a move, narrowing the distance to Caxant and Lazilo XD by 2.1 seconds. Snecker and Janowski are making their move, closing in on Neotexum and Super LaCroix by 2.2 seconds. Pfeffermarker is steadily inching closer to Anabiosis and Chkamster, reducing the distance by 2.3 units. Meanwhile, Rady Zero, Activixen and Ferrari 77 have made a move to P25, surpassing Neighbour and Newcombotham in the process. Neighbour and Newcombotham are making a strong move, reducing the gap to Rady Zero, Activixen and Ferrari 77 by 21.4 units. The chase is on as Neighbour and Newcombotham continue to close in on their rivals. Snecker and Janowski are closing in on Neotexum and Super LaCroix, reducing the gap by 2.0 seconds. Pfeffermarker from Team NAFH Gum Kings makes a bold move up to P11, surpassing Nolgas 77 and Julian Ismas in the process. Nolgas 77 and Julian Ismas respond by taking over Anabiosis and Chkamster, now sitting at P12. Gary Z and Skiltil are making moves, closing in on Babardo and Japar with a 2.3 second gap reduction. Caxant and Laserloxt have advanced to 7th place, overtaking Babardo and Japar in the process. John 073 and ILSB Patrick are making significant gains, narrowing the distance to Babardo and J. Japar by 41.3 units. Kamado 3K and Suzanne Greenberg are also closing in on Anabiosis and JK Hamster, shortening the gap by 35.7 units. Impressive efforts from John 073 and ILSB Patrick as they continue to close in on Babardo and J. Japar by 41.3 units. Kamado 3K and Suzanne Greenberg are swiftly closing in on Anabiosis and Chkamster, reducing the gap by 5.2 seconds. Neighbour and Newcombotham are making gains on Rady Zero, Activixen and Ferrari 77, closing the gap by 2.2 seconds. Tadar Gardner and Irafael are making significant progress, narrowing the distance to Dakota Snake and Sarayan Bot by 2.5 seconds. Hugard 03 is gaining on Wacht and Beriox Walkeri, reducing the gap by 2.4 seconds. Snecker and Chinoski are on a mission, catching up to Neotexum and Super LaCroix, reducing the gap by 2.2 seconds. Radi Zero, Actifixon and Ferrari 77 in the Porsche 91268 are fiercely contesting Neighbor and Newcombotham in the Chevrolet Corvair Monza for the 25th position. The battle between these four drivers is heating up as they navigate the track. Neighbor and Newcombotham have made a significant move up to 25th place, successfully overtaking Radi Zero, Actifixon and Ferrari 77. Caxant and Lasaloxt are in a tight contest with Babardo and Japar for the 7th position. Caxant and Lasaloxt are in a Ford Mustang Boss 30270, while Babardo and Japar are in a Pontiac GTO 65. This battle for the midfield is heating up. Babardo and Japar are making moves, now up to P7 after overtaking Caxant and Lasaloxt. It's a tense battle between them for that position. Babardo and Japar in a Pontiac GTO 65 are really challenging Caxant and Lasaloxt driving a Ford Mustang Boss 30270. John 073 and ILSB Patrick have made a strong move up to 8th place, successfully overtaking Caxant and Lasalo XD in the process. Snecker and Chinoski are rapidly catching up to Neotexum and Super LaCroix, reducing the gap by 2.0 seconds. Wacht and Berriox Walkeri are catching up to Todd R. Gardner and Irevale, shrinking the gap by 2.6 seconds. Sneaku 515 and Gatu are making gains on Caxant and Lasaloxt, closing in by 2.4 seconds. Windtrain 94 and Jerry Berriai are closing in on Komodo 3K and Suzanne Greenberg, reducing the gap by 2.0 seconds. Babardo and Japar are currently fighting for the 7th position against Jump 073 and ILSB Patrick. All drivers are showcasing their skills with Pontiac GTO 65 and Chevrolet Camaro Z2869 respectively. Meanwhile, Snecker and Chinosky are making a move on Neo Texum and Super LaCroix, decreasing the gap by 2.0 seconds. Wayne Train 94 and Jerry Berriai are making a move on Kamado 3K and Suzanne Greenberg, reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds. Anabiosis and Jake Kempster are making a move on Norgas 77 and Julian Ismas, reducing the gap by 3.1 seconds. Norgas 77 and Julian Ismas are making a strong move, catching up to Anabiosis and Kempster by reducing the gap by 16.3 seconds. Kamado 3K and Suzanne Greenberg are gaining on Norgas 77 and Julian Ismas, reducing the distance by 4.3 seconds. Tadar Gardner and Irafael are making significant progress, catching up to Dakota Snake and Sarayan Bot by closing the gap by 42.1 units. The pressure is on as they continue to chase down their competitors. Kamado 3K in the Ford Fairlane 66 is holding off Suzanne Greenberg for the 14th spot. Meanwhile, Wayne Train 94 and Jerry Berriai are also in the mix with their Alfa Romeo Giulia TZ2, creating an interesting four-way battle for position 14. Wayne Train 94 and Jerry Berriai are making moves, jumping up to 14th place by overtaking Kamado 3K and Suzanne Greenberg. Kamado 3K and Suzanne Greenberg have climbed to 14th place, passing Wayne Train 94 and Jerry Berriai in the process. Wayne Train 94 and Jerry Berriai have advanced to P14, surpassing Kamado 3K and Suzanne Greenberg in an ongoing battle. Wayne Train 94 and Jerry Berriai are piloting an Alfa Romeo Giulia TZ2, while Kamado 3K and Suzanne Greenberg are in a Ford Fairlane 66. Wacht and Berriaux Walkeri are making moves, zeroing in on Tadar Gardner and Irafael, reducing the gap by 2.0 seconds. Sneaku 515 and Gatu now sit comfortably in the 9th position after smoothly passing Caxent and Laserloxt. Caxent and Laserloxt are rapidly catching up to Sneaku 515 and Gatu, reducing the gap by 14.8 seconds. The pressure is on as they aim to make their move in this intense race. Pfaffermarker is making a strong move, closing in on Caxent and Laserloxt by reducing the gap by 37.1 units. The competition is heating up as they navigate through the track. Pfaffermarker from Team NAFH Gun Kings is on fire, closing the gap by 8.5 seconds to Caxent and Laserloxt. The pressure is on. Welcome back to the channel, Litos11. It's great to have you back in the virtual race car watching crew. Let's buckle up and enjoy the excitement together. Wacht and Barriox Walkeri are making gains on Todd R. Gardner and Irefale, shrinking the gap by 2.0 units. Snecker and Janowski are also closing in on Neotexum and Super LaCroix, reducing the gap by 2.0 as well. Julian Isma said, "Hey Amy, looks like you're gonna get beaten in this race by Meyer. How do you take losses like these? Do you have a rivalry with her?" Har, Meyer is tough competition for sure. But you know, I'm all about keeping it friendly and having a good time. No hard feelings between us. Just pure racing fun. Snecker and Janowski are reducing the distance to Neotexum and Super LaCroix by 2.2 seconds. Snecker and Janowski are making gains, closing in on Neotexum and Super LaCroix by reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds. Snecker and Janowski are making gains on Neotexum and Super LaCroix, decreasing the distance by 2.3 seconds. Train 94 and Geriberia are showing great performance, closing in on Nolgas 77 and Julian Ismas by 2.1 seconds. Wayne Train 94 and Geriberi are gaining on Norgas 77 and Julian Ismus, reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds. Snecker and Janoski are also making strides towards Neo-Texam and Super LaCroix, closing in by 2.1 seconds. Snecker and Janoski are making impressive progress, closing in on Neo-Texam and Super LaCroix by 2.0 seconds. Wayne Train 94 and Geriberi are gaining on Norgas 77 and Julian Ismus, shrinking the gap by 2.2 seconds. Snecker and Janoski are also making a move on Neo-Texam and Super LaCroix, reducing the distance by 2.1 seconds. Anabiosis and Chcomster are gaining on Pfaffenmarker, closing in by 2.2 seconds. Snecker and Janoski are also catching up to Neo-Texam and Super LaCroix, reducing the gap by 2.2 seconds. Snecker and Janoski are gaining on Neo-Texam and Super LaCroix, cutting the distance by 2.1 seconds. Norgas 77 and Julian Ismus in the Ford Falcon XA GT72 are fiercely contesting P13, with Wayne Train 94 and Geriberi in the Alfa Romeo Giulia TZ2. The battle for position is heating up as they navigate through the circuit. It's a close fight between the two car models. Wayne Train 94 and Geriberi have advanced to 13th place, surpassing Norgas 77 and Julian Ismus in the race. John B073 and ILSB Patrick are on the move, advancing to 6th place by overtaking Babardo and J. Japar. Snecker and Janoski are gaining on Neo-Texam and Super LaCroix, reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds. One Serious Guy and Just Jazik are making moves, reducing the gap to Kamado 3K and Suzanne Greenberg by 2.1 seconds. One serious guy and Just Jazik are putting the pressure on Kamado 3K and Suzanne Greenberg, reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds. Neo-Texum and Super LaCroix in the Morgan Plus for 62 are neck and neck with Snecker and Chinoski in the BMW 3.0 CSL, fighting for the 22nd position. The battle for positioning is heating up as they navigate the track. Caxant and Laserloxt have surged to 9th place, overtaking Sneeku 515 and Gatu. Meanwhile, Snecker and Chinoski have made gains, reaching 22nd place by moving past Neo-Texum and Super LaCroix. Pfaffenmarker has made a strategic move, advancing to 10th place by overtaking Sneeku 515 and Gatu. Sneeku 515 and Gatu are on a mission, cutting the distance to Pfaffenmarker from Team NAFH Gun Kings by a significant 12.2 units. Anabiosis and Jkomster are rapidly catching up to Sneeku 515 and Gatu, reducing the gap by 42.4 seconds. Train 94 and Jeriberii are making a strong push towards Anabiosis and Jkomster, reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds. Hey ST4NBZH, welcome back to the channel. Good to see you here again. Hope you're ready for some exciting AI car racing action today. One serious guy and Just Jazik are steadily gaining on Kamado 3K and Suzanne Greenberg, reducing the gap by 2.0 seconds. Jump 073 and ILSB Patrick are dueling it out with Babardo and J. Japar for the 6th position in their respective Chevy Camaro Z2869 and Pontiac GTO 65. Neo-Texum and Super LaCroix are steadily catching up to Snecker and Chinoski, decreasing the distance by 2.0 seconds. Hey everyone, looks like the race is getting pretty intense with some surprises in the final lap. Who do you think will come out on top? Let's cheer on our drivers till the finish line. Babardo and Japar have made a fantastic move, advancing to 6th place by overtaking Jump 073 and ILSB Patrick in this thrilling race. Someone said, "Hey Amy, this whole race was rigged, and you know it." Oh no, it's all in good fun. Just enjoy the thrill of the race and the unpredictability of AI drivers. One serious guy and Just Jasic are steadily catching up to Komodo 3K and Suzanne Greenberg, reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds.